The bright lights of New York lead into Roseland Ballroom, where tonight Robert Wiggins will try to punch his dance card one more time at the expense of Louis Monaco. All this and more as we swing on the Star. And another cordial welcome to Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. I'm your host, Arnie Tsokio Rosenthal, joined once again by our boxing analyst, Randy Gordon. Randy, Robert Wiggins, really up-and-coming, fast-moving heavyweight right now, although he's 32 years of age, but undefeated, taking on a guy that we look at tonight as we're calling him the new Mo Wilson, somebody that all the heavyweights are going to have to run through, Louis Monaco. Could be a tough fight for him.
It really could, because, you know, even though he's got that undefeated record, Wiggins, and he's a decent puncher, I don't like his condition. He says he's training hard, he's got a little bit of a pop, but he's undefeated, he's an aggressive fighter, but Louis Monaco, he's been in with 3 former world champions, numerous contenders, Vitaly Klitschko and many, many others who we'll get into. So every single division has Mo Wilsons, every division has its Louis Monacos. You've got to, if you're going to get to the top, eventually you have to go through a Louis Monaco.
Well, the word for Monaco, of course, is durable. And would this be a proper yardstick tonight for Wiggins if he can take him out?
You know, Monaco's been taken out before, and it certainly would be, because he's also gone the decision. He's beaten a couple of former champions. He's beaten Michael Dokes. So it really would be. And I think it will be a yardstick. If he struggles against Monaco, we're going to know exactly where he is. If he blasts him out, I think we're going to know where Monaco is. I think, quite frankly, Wiggins is in for a fight tonight.
All right, and you're in for a fight at home. Stay with us. We're getting ready for our first bout on Star Boxing after these words. All right, back at ringside, getting ready for our main event. You take a look at big Robert Wiggins there. He's undefeated, 11-0, 1 draw, 6 wins by way of knockout. If you remember him from our Fight of the Year, if you don't remember anything, Nick Nurse, what a war that was. He stopped Nurse in 6 rounds. This is a scheduled 8-rounder tonight. He's out of East Providence, Rhode Island. He's a lefty, but Monaco is the yardstick in heavyweight division these days. How you do with him, and you better beat him, but you really make a statement if you can stop him. He's very durable. He's the man you remember icing Buster Douglas a split second after the round. Wound up getting a disqualification loss out of that one, but obviously has the punching power in spite of the fact that he's only got 5 knockouts in his 11 wins. He comes in 11-23 out of Denver. A few more facts about these guys, like what they weighed. Well, the man with the scales is in the middle of the ring, Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Roseland Ballroom, New York City, New York, Joe DeGuardia presents the Star Boxing featured bout of the evening. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission, Chairman Mel Southard, Boxing Commissioners George Becker and Mark Kornstein, Commission Supervisor Ralph Petrillo. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Anthony G. Carreri, Dr. Michael A. Fiorello, and Dr. Michael L. Strauss. The timekeeper at the bell, Frank Lombardi. The 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system will be George Colon, Luis Rivera, and Steve Weisfeld. After the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, New York City's own Jimmy Santa. And now for all the boxing fans in attendance here at the Roseland, New York City, and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event of the evening, 6 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, in the blue corner, wearing blue and black, weighing 240 pounds. His professional record, 11 victories, 5 coming by way of knockout with 20 feet of feet and 3 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, from Denver, Colorado, presenting Lewis, the facelifter, Monaco. His opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks, weighs in at 209 pounds. His professional record, 10 victories, 7 coming by way of knockout with no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, from East Providence, Rhode Island, presenting Robert Wiggins.
All right, good evening, gentlemen. I want you to listen to me at all times. Let's touch gloves and have a good, clean fight. Go ahead, guys.
All right, well, Wiggins coming in tonight, expecting originally an 8-round fight, Randy. It's been cut to 6.
Don't know the reason for that.
And
we expected 8.
Now, in a fight like this, as of course you see Wiggins in his southpaw stance, whose advantage is it tonight with this getting cut to a shorter fight?
Quite frankly, I think Monaco.
I happen to agree with you.
He can work a little bit harder.
I was baiting you, but I wanted to see what you would say. I think he's the veteran and the older. Although, actually, not older in terms of fights, not older in terms of age. He's only about 8 months older. Wiggins, of course, starting late in his career.
Monaco has been in there with so many guys. Listen to this quick little list. He's beaten the likes of Peter McNeely, Michael Dokes, former heavyweight champion. He's lost to former heavyweight champion Trevor Berbick. He's lost to Michael Grant, Jeremy Williams, Gary Bell, Kurt Johnson, Lawrence Klebe, my man, Vitaly Klitschko, I love this guy, and Monty Barrett.
Unfortunately, lost to all of them. He did manage to put together a pretty good 4-bout win streak, starting in September of '99, where he took out Ken Bentley over 4 rounds, Chris Thomas, Jason Jackson, and then Ken Bentley again, who he obviously likes to beat up on.
His longest winless streak was 14.
Yeah. Then he went on, lost 3 straight now that he's trying to stop, losing to Samson Pua. 8th round, I saw that fight, and he was ahead on points, and Pua hit him in the 8th round and knocked him stone cold. Then he lost that 8-round decision to David DeFiaban, 6-round decision to Zuri Lawrence. So he needs a win, but right now Wiggins not in tune to give him one. Wiggins' last fight against the other yardstick for the heavyweight division, who I really feel that Monaco is becoming the new one of, that's Mo Wilson. And I told Wiggins, I said, you went 6 rounds with Mo Wilson. I said, you know, he's never been stopped. And he didn't know that. He looked at me and says, now he felt better about the fight.
You love Mo, don't you?
Oh, Mo's my man. And you take a look at Monaco right now.
Sorry, Arnie, you know, in the beginning of everybody's career, and when they used to come into the commission, I would ask them, why are you taking out a license? And all of them always tell me, because I believe I can become a champion. I'm sure at one point in Monaco's career, he believed he was going to be future heavyweight champion of the world.
But if you were in that position today and he walked in and he said to you, because I want the payday, how would you react?
It becomes very, very tough. I'd give him a license. There's no reason not to give him a license. I mean,
as long as he's healthy.
This guy, he's passing the physicals, and it's more than passing the physical. The guy knows how to defend himself. He's not a stiff.
Well, he defended himself well this round, but a very aggressive and good round for Wiggins, who punctuates it at the end with a good left hand.
Hey, boxing fans, come out for live boxing. Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing presents Rockin' Fights. For ticket information, go to starboxing.com or ticketmaster.com. See some of the best young fighters. Star Boxing, Rockin' Fights, it's a knockout.
Round number 2 of a scheduled 6-rounder. Robert Wiggins in black. Louis Monaco. He's in the blue with the black stripes. Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal along with Randy Gordon with Roseland Ballroom tonight on Star Boxing.
Two big men in the ring there, and you need a big referee. Jim Santa, a former standout football player for University of Maryland.
And he was very inconspicuous in the first round, which I guess means he's doing a real good job.
You know what? Jimmy's doing a better and better job becoming a real world-class referee. Every time I see him, I like his work more and more. And what I like also, he's been hitting the gym more than the refrigerator. Jimmy's getting a little punch in recent years. He lost it. He's in the gym working out, and I love it. And I think he's a world-class ref.
Right now, is Wiggins a world-class heavyweight?
I don't know about that. I mean, talking to us, he says he is. He says one day he sees the heavyweight championship in his future.
Well, he's 32 years of age. Ever since we met him last year for the first time here on Star Boxing in the famous Nick Nurse fight, he knew he had to move on a faster path than everybody else. Told us yesterday, though, very disappointed in the lack of fights that he's had thus far in 2001. This is only his third start of the year, and his last one was in June. And again, that was the Mo Wilson fight, going the full 6 with Mo.
A yardstick I'm going to be using from now on when I see Wiggins is his weight, which right now is 209, which I like. His last fight he was 213. Before that he was 214. Before that was 218 and 21. So he is coming down in weight. But I'd like to see him really trim that midsection a lot more.
Down to 209, which is actually his lowest. That's the least he's weighed, Randy, as a professional.
I like that. I mean, you remember former heavyweight contender from 20 years ago, James Broadaxe Broad?
Yeah.
He used to tell us that he was going to be less for his next fight. And indeed he was. One day he'd be 259. Next time he was 258 and 3/4. So I like the fact that Wiggins is dropping some weight.
But at 209, is he too small for today's heavyweights?
Ask a guy by the name of Joe Frazier, who was 205 and could fight, I think, with anybody around today.
Well, he's given up 31 pounds tonight to Monaco.
Wiggins has lost some of that aggressiveness, maybe because of that big weight advantage, and I think he feels that strength that Monaco has.
Well, as Billy Crystal would say, though, that's a Backstreet Boy.
A big Backstreet Boy.
All right, but a big win, big round so far for Wiggins, controlling Monaco, but not able to hurt him. And he wouldn't be the first person to find out how tough Monaco is to hurt.
Monaco blocking a lot of those shots. Maybe one of those shots really got in. I'm telling you, this man knows what he's doing. You asked about the commission licensing him. I'd have no problem. Obviously, the New York State Athletic Commission had no problem. Nobody has a problem licensing the 11 and 23 Louis Monaco. He knows how to fight.
Does he know how to win? So far, it's Wiggins. We're at the end of 2.
She's a very kinky girl.
Can't get enough of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing? Download the Star Boxing TV app or check out our Roku channel to watch exclusive content and classic fights. Every punch, every knockout, every screen. The Star Boxing TV app gives you exclusive access to every moment of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. Available on Apple, Android, and Roku. Just search Star Boxing to get in the ring.
Round 3 scheduled for 6 rounds. Wiggins' corner telling him to jump on him. They feel like he's moving back too much, Randy.
I thought he was moving back too much, too. I think he should just bury his head right in Monaco's chest and throw shots. Just like that. Come on, throw. Throw.
Well, after scoring 6 knockouts in his first 8 wins, Wiggins is in a non-knockout streak here. His last 3 fights going the distance, 6, 8, and 6 respectively. Scheduled for 6 here, and perhaps his corner feels he's getting into some sort of complacency, Randy, where he's happy to win decisions and not stop guys.
And that's a very bad habit to get into. And against Monaco, if you lay back, he will gladly oblige you and lay back all night long. You've got to jump on him. He's not in the greatest shape. You've got to make him work 180 seconds every round. If you can do that, you'll beat him. You know, we talked earlier about guys dreaming of winning a championship. It started real early for Monaco that he wanted to win a championship. After 3 fights, he was 1-1-1, though. After 6 fights, he was 2-2-2. And from there, it just went downhill.
He's been stopped 7 times in his career, mostly by household names. We'll give you that. People like Michael Grant, Jeremy Williams, Kirk Johnson, Vitaly Klitschko, Layman Brewster, Maurice Harris, and most recently, Samson Pua. Everybody else managed to get carried the distance. But if Wiggins could, even drop him, I think that would be a big uppercut on the inside. But that's the problem with being 290 pounds and giving up that weight, Randy. There's not enough weight behind his shots. I think he's too light right now.
209 pounds.
Yeah. Now, that doesn't make up for why his midsection should be firmer.
That was a backhand, I believe, and Jimmy Santa didn't catch that one.
Or he didn't, preferred to let it go.
The fighter who gets warned about the backhand, usually says, I was just pulling my hand back. It was an accident. I didn't mean to touch him.
Wiggins doing some nice body work right now on the 240-pound frame of Monaco. This is an all-time high for Monaco coming in tonight at 240. He weighed that in his last fight as well. His pro career, he was down at 201 against Butterbean in his second pro fight. Getting knocked out by Butterbean in the first round.
Butterbean weighed about 320, 330 for that fight.
Imagine your second pro fight. You got to go in against Butterbean in a 4-rounder. Right now, though, Santa taking a real close look. He may stop this fight because Monaco's not giving anything back. Second half of a scheduled 6th-rounder. Robert Wiggins black, Louis Monaco. He's in the blue and black. Nobody's been on the floor thus far, but Randy, did you hear Monaco's corner screaming at him? You would think that he was like in an undefeated status at this point. You're not trying?
I'm telling you, if I was Monaco, I would not want to go back to the corner if I didn't have a good round. They scolded him.
Well, let's be honest. He's in with an undefeated fighter, 11-0 Robert Wiggins, who he's brought here tonight as an opponent and on short notice at that. And his corner screaming at him.
They're doing their job. They're doing their job. They got a fighter. They try to motivate him. They probably know what the outcome will be, that their guy is an opponent, a damn good opponent, a damn good tough opponent. But they try to motivate him. Come away with that upset. But then what happens? You start upsetting too many guys. Guys don't want to use you.
Well, they threatened to stop it. They said if you don't do more, and right now he's holding behind the head and punching, and there's the Santa gives him a warning, and rightfully so. Totally illegal tactic.
It's an illegal tactic that a lot of referees let fighters get away with. I can't stand when guys lean on a guy, and then with one hand they pull him down, the other hand they drive him right onto the end of the punch. Wiggins is trying. I'm agreeing with you more and more. That 209 pounds, I mean, when I think of him in with the real big guys of the division, Mount Whitaker and all those guys, the Klitschko brothers, 6'7", 260.
Randy, I'm a tremendous advocate for the super cruiserweight division. I love that 210-pound limit. I think it's something that's definitely needed. A couple of the other outlaw governing bodies have been using it. I've actually had 3 world champions at that weight class.
No wonder you'd love it.
No, but I've lost fights at that weight class too. I just think that it's something that's really needed. Otherwise, how does a guy like him go in with the likes of a Jameel McCline or a Mount Whitaker or a Lennox Lewis?
Derek Jefferson and on and on and on. They're growing them bigger and bigger.
That's where they are.
No, you know what? I agree with you. It might be time for another division. Just what we need.
Further confuse the boxing public.
But you know what? I wouldn't care if there was a 190-pound champion, 191, 192, 193, as long as there was one guy at every weight.
Question. Is Wiggins getting bored hitting Monaco at this point?
I think he's kind of complacent at this point. I think he's just going to try to do a paint job on him, try to safety first, don't get caught with anything. He has to get motivated.
Well, it's got to be frustrating for him, though. He's against 2 fights in a row now against the 2 most durable heavyweight trial horses in the business, Mo Wilson and Louis Monaco. He wins another round here, wins it easy, but he's hit him with his best shots, and he hasn't gone anywhere.
Hey, boxing fans, come out for live boxing. Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing presents Rockin' Fights. For ticket information, Go to starboxing.com or ticketmaster.com. See some of the best young fighters. Star Boxing, rockin' fights. It's a knockout.
I need something stronger. Round number 5. Robert Wiggins, he's out of Denver. And Louis Monaco, he's out of Denver. Robert Wiggins, of course, out of East Providence, Rhode Island. Both fighters traveling quite a way to come here to New York. Obviously, they got to be staying at City Life hotels. That's the only place where you would stay if you're staying in New York.
Is there any other place?
No other place.
Oh, bang! That was a crushing right hand that Wiggins just landed. Monaco took it well.
You know, both fighters held up a little bit. We had a fantastic fashion show from Antonovich Furs that was in here.
Glad my wife wasn't here.
I think she was. I think she took one and ran.
Oh, no, she didn't, did she?
They were fantastic. And then, of course, we were held up a little bit further when we had a second fashion show. This one in tank tops and G-strings from the girls from the VIP club. So these guys might have been kept waiting a little bit, Randy, and it looks like maybe Monaco, you know, came out a little bit stale and left some of his fight in the dressing room.
Monaco is, at this point, going to do what he likes to do now. He's going to probably just go the distance, hang in there, not fight back all that much. It becomes actually ingrained in you. You start becoming it, you believe you're an opponent, and you fight like an opponent.
And how complacent is Wiggins at this point?
See, that's what I don't like. I mean, if
But did he punch himself out, though, Randy, over the first 4?
I don't think so.
He threw a lot of shots.
Here's a guy who was telling you and I yesterday that he's going to be heavyweight champion. Here's a guy who says he idolizes Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, Rocky Marciano, and Joe Louis, all some of the greatest fighters of all time. He said, and I fight like them. I don't see it. I don't see it. He's exciting, and I'd like to see him in with a guy who's going to throw a lot of shots back like that.
He's napping there and catches a shot from a guy that still could knock out Buster Douglas before or after the round was over. Oh, and he catches him again! And Wiggins is in a lot of trouble here in the 5th round as he's getting a wake-up call from Louis Monaco. And now Monaco, though, taking a step back, Randy, admiring his work and letting Wiggins off the hook.
Monaco knows what he should be doing. But again, this is that kind of loser mentality, that opponent mentality, that when you get like this, when you're 11 and 23, you forget that you can really knock people out. He had Wiggins hurt.
Well, best round of the fight thus far for Louis Monaco.
Can't get enough of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing? Download the Star Boxing TV app or check out our Roku channel to watch exclusive content and classic fights. Every punch, every knockout, every screen. The Star Boxing TV app gives you exclusive access to every moment of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. Available on Apple, Android, and Roku. Just search Star Boxing to get in the ring.
Come on, boys.
6th and final round in Wiggins' corner, giving him a dressing down. They know that their fighter fell asleep, and he was listening. They said he's nothing more than a punching bag in the 5th round, Randy, and that's the only round thus far in my card, anyway, that Monaco won.
That might have been it. And over in the corner, Monaco, they gave him a dressing down, too, because I thought that if he really stepped on the gas, who knows? He could have had Wiggins on the floor, maybe for a 10 count.
I thought Wiggins was ready to go.
Legs are doing a little Mr. Bojangles in there, shaking around, shaking and baking.
Going down to the body.
Now the legs got the bounce back again.
Well, this is the first concerted body attack that he's put together since the 2nd round. And I thought the body attack was working real well earlier in the fight for Wiggins, Randy. Bringing those hands down.
It was working well, and then he disdained it. He forgot about it, left it back in the corner, and came out throwing the headshots. Now they're posing, looking at each other, waiting for each other to get off. Now it's becoming somewhat of a heavyweight dance.
Monaco, though, ever the consummate professional, just laying on the ropes, not using his legs,
right,
making Wiggins come in, and Wiggins getting caught with a lot of shots. Now Wiggins opening up, though, as Monaco drops his hands.
He's got a great chin. Great chin.
He knows how to roll with it. He's just rolling with those punches. And I can't tell you how many fights I've called of Louis Monaco over the years where what we saw tonight was exactly how the script went. He'd have one really good round where he rocked the guy, and you're sitting there and say, oh wow, he's going to come back and stop this man, and then you get this in the 6th round.
Well, Hall of Famer Gil Clancy taught me a long time ago that when you become an opponent, you think like an opponent. You don't expect to win. You'll go in the ring, you'll give it your best shot, but you really don't believe in your heart of hearts that you can win the fight.
And thus, the Louis Monaco story?
Yeah, it's very, very typical. I mean, they have too much pride to take a shot and lay down and get counted out. So they fight on, and they fight on, and they fight just as hard as they possibly can, but they don't believe they can win.
Well, Wiggins gets one last warning here from referee Jim Santa, who's done a terrific job in this fight, incidentally.
The more I see Jim, he's doing a great job every time out.
The only thing he didn't have to do was count to 8 or 10, as nobody went down in this fight. And we'll be back with the decision after these words. Stay with us. We're swinging on the star. All right, back at ringside awaiting the decisions in the Wiggins-Monaco saga. And the man with the story, Dean Stone.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing here at the Roseland Ballroom, New York City, New York, we go to the scorecard. Judge Steve Weisfeld has it 58-56. Judge George Colon sees it 58-56. And Judge Luis Rivera has it 60-54 for your winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Robert Wiggins.
All right, 58-56 on 2 judges' cards, a lot closer than Randy and I saw it, and it's something to be said for Wiggins' complacency. Fight very close to becoming a majority
we have a raffle
draw.
Giving away a beautiful
Louis Monaco will drop down to 11-24 at 3 draws. Remaining undefeated, 12-0, Robert Wiggins. Our Randy Gordon's got him. We'll hear how he thought his performance went this evening.
Well, Arnie, the first thing Robert Wiggins said, if you want to say he said it, when he came over here right now, he stood next to me, he just went, ugh, tell me about it.
I wasn't sharp. I got into a battle punch for punch, looking for one shot. And it wasn't myself who I won a decision, pretty close decision. But I got to sharpen up, and then stick to my game plan when I came in. Not look for one punch. I didn't do what I was supposed to, but we still got the victory.
You know, in watching you there at 209 pounds, and we still think you can get down in weight, do you believe you're a heavyweight who can hang with the 6'7", 260 guys?
Yeah, I have a easier time with some of the taller guys I got on name than with the shorter guys. Because the guys we spar against, anything we fight and spar against, the most of my beginning of my career were all big guys. I had less problems with them than the shorter guys. So I was used to the taller guys. But I think we'll do well as we start to adjust and make some adjustments, sharpen up, throw the body shots, the head shots like we're supposed to. I think everything will go well.
What did you do wrong tonight?
Going punch and punch, didn't stick with the game plan, didn't warm up good. But there's no excuses. Just all the things you know to do, I didn't do. But I got to sharpen up on home, start training a little harder. We get back to business.
In the 5th round, I believe it was, he landed a shot. It looked to me like your legs did a little bit of this.
No, I caught me off balance. I was never hurt. Never really hurt. I may get a little stingers. That's part of heavyweights. They all get stingers. But it's nothing that really hurt me. Nothing hurt me. I can't rate back. Nothing that hurt me. He didn't hurt me at all. Nothing serious. Maybe a little sting. I'm like, whoa, nothing big.
If you could take this whole fight back again, do it all over again, what would you do different?
Put up my hands, throw body shots because it was hurting. I hurt him in the 3rd and 4th round. I hurt him both times. Couldn't finish him off. I got to be able to finish him off. Sharpen up on my skills and get a little better shape. A little more running.
You told us yesterday at the weigh-in that some of your favorite fighters are Mike Tyson and Joe Frazier and Joe Louis, guys like that. How do you see yourself fitting into that kind of plan?
Well, I'll never beat those guys. They were greats, and they started so young, and they weren't retiring when I'm starting at 30. They retiring at 30, 32. But I'm saying is that I like their type of styles, their type of attitude, their mental game that brings them into the game. Like myself getting caught with big shots, not just laughing, keep coming, but I got to put my hands up, I got to bob weight, move my head, do those type of things they did. I don't never say I can step in their shoes, but I like to be like those great champions.
But you say it doesn't bother you stepping in against the ring, because most of the guys are going to be bigger than you fight.
Yeah, I know. I fought a lot of guys, 250, 260. I'm a fighter against a lot of big guys like that. Right now I'm down on weight. I should be 218, 220. It'd be more power, a little more strength.
You want to put on weight?
Put on 10 pounds. I don't want to lose any. I want to put on 10 pounds solid. That'll make me a whole different heavyweight.
Oh, because if we get the camera right over here, sometimes I play around over here. I say, come on, I think that this guy is hitting the refrigerator.
Solid.
Okay.
I got to tune this up, put this on solid, put on muscle up top and down low. 10 pounds solid, take this off.
When are you going to get back in the ring?
I'm going to get right back in the gym. I'm back in the gym Monday morning. Not going to take much out. Maybe even Saturday. Back in the gym, start training.
Well, here's a heavyweight who wants to get back in the gym. He wants to get back into that refrigerator again, eat some more, put on some more weight.
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing him again. Robert Wiggins continues his unbeaten run. Let's go back to our own heavyweight champion, Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal.
Well, actually a cruiserweight, Randy. But we'll be back with more on Star Boxing. Stay with us. We're swinging.
Can't get enough of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing? Download the Star Boxing TV app or check out our Roku channel to watch exclusive content and classic fights. Every punch, every knockout, every screen. The Star Boxing TV app gives you exclusive access to every moment of Joe DeGuardia's Star Boxing. Available on Apple, Android, and Roku. Just search Star Boxing to get in the ring.
Star Boxing's been brought to you tonight by City Life Hotel Group. Check them out online at www.stayinNewYork.com and by Antonovich Furs. Antonovich.
All right, back at ringside here. Randy, interesting post-fight interview with Robert Wiggins. We talked throughout the fight about him being a small heavyweight. Now he admits he wants to put on 10 pounds.
He said he's going to get back to the gym. He said, I'm going to put some weight on up top, probably with lifting weights, and he's going to put some on down here with the refrigerator. That really is not going to mean anything. He's a small heavyweight no matter how you look at it. He is a man without a division, kind of. He's a small heavyweight in a land of very, very big men.
Not particularly happy with his performance, and I'm happy that he admits that, but I thought he got rocked in the 5th round.
He says he didn't. He said it was off balance, but it looked to us like he was hurt. He did give a game performance. I think he's got to do a lot better if he wants to even think about becoming heavyweight champion.
All right, but still, a stellar performance. We look forward to seeing him come back here again. Also want to give kudos to our director, Eric Draft, our producer, Lee Ellen, and everybody, all the crew for Live Star Entertainment. For everybody at Star Boxing and for Randy Gordon, I'm Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal. Good night, Carrie. I'm coming home.